All right, we should be good. Let me check the sound. Sound looks to be good. If you guys can't hear me, let me know. We're going to look at Bitcoin momentarily, and we're live on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So we'll look at Bitcoin and get going on that. Let me wait for a few people to join on TikTok, and then we'll get started. We're also live. If you guys want to see the entire screen, we're live on YouTube as well. Crypto Boss Andrew there. So we are live both on YouTube and TikTok. Make sure when you guys come in, appreciate if you hit that like button on both platforms. So right now, let's look at Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is continuing to go higher. You're completely pinned on the daily RSI. But even though you're above the 200-day moving average, last time you're above that was like 13 months ago at the end of the bull market. So to me, Bitcoin could be on a rally here, much higher. I would say I think last time I was live on Saturday, I said the line to be bullish on the daily time frame and weekly time frame for Bitcoin would be $22,200. That is the price I said you had to beat. So this price right up here at 22.2. If you beat that, oh boy, it's really bullish for Bitcoin. Although, like I said, you're overbought on the daily chart, so we could see a correction at any time. But the thing is, the 4-hour chart really hasn't, it's making a higher high, and you barely even had a dump. You barely had a dump, and the RSI has already reset, making a higher low for sure. Extremely, extremely bullish. That means the bulls are in charge, and there's very, 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 very few sellers, at least based on that time frame. Also, the 1-hour chart is looking juicy as well for Bitcoin. Same thing as Jasmine. Jasmine looked just as good when I just looked at that. But to me, Bitcoin is looking good. So let's go over to Bookmap and look at and see how that tells you where the orders are at on Bitcoin. And I thought I already opened it, but I guess we'll have to wait for it to load. In the meantime, you guys can drop your requests. Let me know how you guys are doing, and we'll look at your altcoins though here in a minute after this loads. So let's go over. Okay, it's loaded. So Saturday when we were here, it looked like there were a lot more orders lower. Like they just did. But now you have some sells up here at $23,000. Let me make sure you guys can see it on TikTok. You have some sells up here at $23,000. Not a lot, but you have some. And right now that would be about $1,500 higher than where we are at 21.3, more than that. But if we zoom out a little bit more, you have some sells up here at 25K. So this is, we didn't see this Saturday. You see more sells, meaning the price could definitely push up to $25,000. If that happens, I would be extremely bullish on Bitcoin that the bear market's over. I was still hoping for $10,000, and I'm not saying it's not over. It's still possible it happens, but I want to buy a Bitcoin at 10K. That's just what I wanted to do, but I might not get that opportunity again, and that's okay. So if we keep zooming out, you see there's a lot of buys though down here at $12,000. So we'll have to see what happens. But on Saturday, we did not see any sells up higher, or not very many at least. Now you actually see that there were a few up there at 23.5 and 25K. So to me, that's leaning more bullish now. Bookmap is than it was on Saturday. So those would be your next resistances. If it does push higher, it would be 23.5 and 25K to the upside. And obviously, I'd be bullish above 22.2 with a daily candle close above that, especially a weekly candle close above that. So that is, you're about $1,000 away from that key level of resistance to be bullish on Bitcoin, at least on the daily chart and weekly chart. But that is kind of what I'm looking at right now. It's looking like Bitcoin wants to go for another push higher, and the next push above that would be 22,200, and then 23,500. And then 23, and then 25,000. So I'm going to put those levels of resistance on the chart based on Bookmap. So that is kind of your next targets is 22.2, 23.5, and then 25K. To the downside, you would have support at 20,800, and then below that, obviously 20,000 would be very strong support as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I am actually predicting a move to the upside. I wouldn't mind if we started making money now, though. As much as I would like to see 10K, I'm really ready to make some money in the bull market. I really am. So, all right. So let me go over to your requests and your chat and all that other stuff. Crypto going to crash. Well, if it crashes, we can all buy lower, and I'm not complaining about that. But if it moons, we can make money a lot easier and a lot faster. But I sure would like to accumulate before it moons, but maybe I missed my chance. What coin am I watching right now? I just looked at Jasmine before I did this live stream, so I think that's another coin that looks bullish. But I think a lot of coins look bullish right now. I'm not watching anyone in particular, unless you want to talk about like small market cap coins, which that's probably not what you're asking for. Bitcoin will see 17K before it sees 24K. Well, I guess we'll see. Time will tell. I don't think Bitcoin's going to fade, guys. I think Bitcoin is here to stay, and I do think it's the currency of the future, because if I didn't think that, I wouldn't be doing these videos. I wouldn't be invested in it, although I don't really have much money to invest in it now, but I wouldn't be staying around, sticking around, and looking at it. I'm still waiting to buy the dip. If it happens, if it doesn't, if you break 22.2, I'm going to start buying crypto, even though we are pretty high right now on the RSI. I would still buy if you break 22.2, because that's a key level of resistance to be bullish on the daily chart. So yeah, Biden is still president, so the bear market's not over. Yeah, and I'm afraid that Biden will still be president in 2024. I don't think that's a good thing. But I know Trump will be back eventually, whether it's 2024 or 2028. More likely, though, I think it'd probably be later than sooner. But that's just, that's just my opinion on it. Appreciate the follow. By the way, guys, check out our Telegram. I'm trying to get that active again, and more people in that. I know a few people joined the other day, but the link to join that is in my YouTube bio and TikTok bio as well. Appreciate the follow, Yellow. Someone wants to look at Doge. Let me just make sure. I don't know if anyone's watching YouTube, but let me go verify that there's no request over there. We got one person watching over there. So we'll look at Dogecoin next. It's not a coin I'm a fan of because it's inflationary, but I mean, I'll look at the chart at least. I'm sure it's pumping because the rest of crypto is pumping. So let's look at it. So obviously, right now you're at 8.5 cents. I'm on the daily chart. So you're definitely in a massive downtrend. Although you've been in a massive downtrend for a long time, I think that's obvious. You're trying to break it right now. Maybe you could already say you broke it, depending on how you... Yeah, I would say it's probably about to break right now if it already hasn't. Daily chart's above the 200-day moving average, so that's really, really bullish. Let's check the 4-hour chart. I'm assuming that's above it too. It is. And 1-hour chart, I would assume, is above it too, although it's barely above it. It's kind of using it as support right now. So to me, right now, Dogecoin does look juicy. Let's look at resistance targets to the upside on the macro time frame. Your next resistance would be 10.5 cents. And if you break that, you have strong resistance at 15 cents. Those are the next key levels of resistance to the upside. If you look to the downside for support, on the macro, you have a macro local low at 7 cents. So those are the in between, if you zoom into the 4-hour time frame, you'll see more supports and resistances. But 7 cents is strong support. And to the upside, you got 10.5 cents as strong resistance, and then 15 cents is more resistance. Daily charts are already starting to curve down, so be cautious on Dogecoin. 4-hour chart has made a higher low, so that is a good sign. And 1-hour chart is looking a little bit weak. So to me, Dogecoin doesn't look like the strongest coin out there, but it has some momentum on the 4-hour chart, but the daily chart might push that down. To me, you're basically at resistance right now on Dogecoin. I would stay away from Doge personally right now. I think there's better coins to trade if you are looking to trade. But right now, also, you should probably be taking profits because Bitcoin did just have a nice tear. So I don't like really what I'm seeing from Dogecoin. And like I said, it's inflationary. So if it does pump, it's harder to pump than other coins because it's inflationary and not deflationary. I mean, they're always printing new coins is my point. So I don't really like the Dogecoin, but the chart doesn't look great. So that is kind of it for Dogecoin. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know you have to leave emotions out of it. I just don't like the chart either, though. So Quant right now is interesting, in an interesting position. Quant, I'm going to do a video on this because actually this could be a good one to trade or something. So let's look at Quant. So right now, Quant is at $140. You're coming up to this resistance that I've had charted for a while. Yeah, $150, we'll call it. You just broke support, and you're having a nice tear and a nice breakout. At least you were in a breakout. Still might be in it. And that last resistance was at $117. Ever since you broke it, you've been in a nice uptrend. Actually, ever since you held this as support at $100, you've been in a nice uptrend. So if you break 150, the next target I would say would be basically just above $200 at 205. That's where the last daily candle close was at up here. And you had a wick all the way to 227. So those are the next two resistances to the upside. If you break $150, is 205 and then 227. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Yeah, if you break 150, you went straight up to 205 and then basically to 227. So that there's a chance that Quant could have another major breakout if you break $150, which is $12 higher. Be cautious. Daily chart is very overbought, but you're above the 200-day moving average, so I like that. And the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart is overbought, but you made a higher high, so now you just want to see a higher low, and you would want to make sure that on the higher low you don't lose $125. Then you could still be bullish on that. And for the 1-hour chart, 1-hour chart's already reset, making a higher low. Every time, 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart, and, well, actually the daily is about to dump. But to me, the smaller time frames look like Quant wants to push at least a little bit higher, and that could get you to the next resistance. So I'd watch Quant. I'm going to actually put an alert if it does break 150, because then that could be, I'm not going to trade it, but, that could be a good trade setup. Not financial advice, but Quant does actually look a lot better than Dogecoin. So I am bullish on Quant if it breaks $150. That's the next price to beat, I would say, to the downside or to the upside. So that is what Quant looks like. Or download that video so I can post it on YouTube after this live stream. And then appreciate the follow. Top Crypto. Someone wants me to look at XLM. Appreciate the follows. ICP is a complete shitcoin. Why do you want me to look at that? Ever since the ICP came out, it's gone straight down. So come on, guys. Give me coins that actually have. I know Quant has a high market cap, but the coin has gone down ever since it came out. So XLM. Let's look at XLM. XLM at basically 9 cents, just short of that, well below the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. The 4-hour chart, you're below. Actually, you're above it. I take that back. Making a higher low. So 4-hour chart looks bullish to me. 1-hour chart does not. 1-hour chart's struggling. Daily chart is still bearish on the macro time frame. As long as you're below that yellow line on the daily chart, it's not bullish. So XLM still a no-go for a long-term hold, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I guess I'll look at Quant. No, what was it? ICP. We just looked at Quant. So I'll look at it, but I'm not very. Yep, you're below the 200-day moving average, although you almost test it. I wouldn't really say you got rejected just yet, but you are overbought on the daily. 4-hour chart does look bullish like a lot of other coins, but 1-hour chart also struggling. So a lot of coins are struggling on the 1-hour chart, good on the 4-hour chart, but smaller time frames are bearish before the larger ones, so that could lead to the 4-hour. Eventually, the 4-hour chart could get overbought on a lot of these coins and make a lower high. So to me, some coins look good on the 4-hour chart, but overall, the smaller time frames don't look good on ICP either. And if you just look at the daily chart, it's just in a massive downtrend. The last high you had on the daily chart, I guess you could say the last high was $4.70, but the previous one was $5.82. So if you don't get above that, which is basically where the 200-day moving average is, Quant or ICP is still pretty bearish unless you break. We'll call it $6. If you don't break $6, this is still in a massive downtrend. ICP is. So I'm definitely not a fan of ICP. So and then AVAX. AVAX. I don't know. I haven't looked at AVAX in a long time. Let me go look at Avalanche. Avalanche had a wick above the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, but you're still trying to get above it. It looks like it wants to break it. Be cautious. Daily chart's way overbought. The 4-hour chart is bullish like a lot of other coins. Let's see how the 1-hour chart is doing. 1-hour chart did not break it. That made a lower high because the previous one was 1874 and currently you're only at 1742. So to me, AVAX not bullish on the 1-hour chart. A 4-hour chart still looks good, but the daily chart is also trying to break it, but it's looking like it might not happen. I mean, it's overbought. We'll see what happens. If you want to be bullish on the daily chart, you have to get a daily candle close, I would say, above $18. So appreciate the follow, Darius. Jasmine this run. I just did a video on Jasmine. It's on my YouTube channel, so go check that out. Trying to hold my Jasmine till 2024. I think, guys, if you invest in crypto now, even if we go down lower, you'll be very happy based on what I'm hearing from 2024. I think there's a good chance in the next bull run that all paper currency is dissolved of, in the U.S. at least, and that means the government would make their own cryptocurrency, which I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of paper money going away and just using Bitcoin stuff as payment, but I don't like the fact that governments are going to start making their own cryptos currency, but I think it's inevitable. You're very welcome. So, all right, let me just double check on. Okay, so Jazz made a 1 cent buy tomorrow. Well, I don't quite think that's going to happen, but I guess it's possible. Jasmine will only have to go up like 50%, or I'm sorry, 100% for that to happen. I think that's done it before in a day, so I guess it's very possible. I just don't see it happening. You have too many resistances above you, like 0.6 of a penny and like 65% of a penny, where the 200-day moving average is at on the daily chart for Bitcoin. So, but I guess crazier things have happened. So, appreciate the follow, Jay. So someone wants to go look at Solana, which I think got destroyed recently, hasn't it? Well, no, it did, and then it recovered. So the daily chart on Solana. Wow, Solana went all the way down to $8. Wow, that's like a V-shaped recovery almost, or whatever you want to call it. U-shaped recovery. Let me delete these because this is where I was trading it way long time ago, so that's not even resistance. But you do have resistance up there at $36. You have a macro local low for support at $10. You just dumped. So honestly, the next major resistance I would say would be where you held the support up here at $27. $27 is the next resistance for Solana. If you break that, then I'm looking for $36. But you're still below the 200-day moving average, which is still a massive downtrend and not bullish on the daily chart. Some coins are. 4-hour chart looks good to me, like on basically every coin. But then you look at the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart made a lower high or a double top. So to me, Solana is definitely not a trade I'd be long on right now. Appreciate the follow, Daniel, and Daniel got the appreciate the gifts. I didn't even see them. Appreciate the roses. Anyway, so yeah, I would say Solana short term is not bullish, and even long term on the daily chart still very bearish. But that's how I'm seeing Solana. And I'm just not bullish on it, unfortunately. So if you guys are a complete degenerate, I'm going to show you a coin that I just bought. It's a $60,000 market cap. I bought it at $44,000. It's called Bixie coin. If you guys want to look at it, join my Telegram. I can drop the link. But it's a very small market coin. It's just for fun. But I do gamble with these degenerate coins just for fun. But that is one I'm watching right now. Is Bixie coin. So, but anyways, get back to the coins that are actually safe to invest in. Not saying that's not. Well, it's pretty dangerous actually. Go to wrap up on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently at $21,556. If you are just joining, if I want to be bullish on Bitcoin on the daily chart, Bitcoin has to get a daily candle close above $22,200. If you break that, the next target to the upside is $23,400 based on where the orders are at on Bookmap. And then above that, you're looking at $25K exactly. To the downside, if Bitcoin gets rejected and can't get above 22.5, the next step to the downside would be at 20,800, and then below that 20K is obviously strong support. But that's what I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. Those are targets to the upside and downside. I am still leaning towards a move back to 22.5, so a test of that huge resistance that I'm watching to be bullish on the daily chart. I think we could hit that based on Bookmap, where the orders are at on Bitcoin, and as well as the fact the 4-hour chart made a higher low. So we'll see what happens. 1-hour chart also made a higher high, and now you just want to see a higher low, and you don't want to lose 20,600 if you want to be bullish on Bitcoin. So to me, as long as you stay above 20,600 before the next leg up, Bitcoin is very juicy and very healthy right now for another move to the upside. So I'm calling. I think at some point this week, Bitcoin sees 22.5. Whether you get rejected off of that or you can break it, we still don't know that yet, but that is the next target to the upside, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I don't know why I don't look at Ethereum more often, but let's definitely go look at Ethereum. Ethereum on the daily chart. Okay, so Ethereum, oh my God, that's crazy. That's just gone kind of, I mean, not really, but kind of parabolic. It's above the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, which is currently sitting at 1400 basically. Daily RSI needs to get a reset, but the 4-hour chart is making a higher high. I'm assuming the 1 hour is as well. 1 hour is as well. So to me, actually, basically, as of short term, you actually did get a double top. I'm not saying we can't break it, but you got double top at 1605, and that was on the 13th. So 3 days ago, and you just got another one right there. So I'm not saying we can't break it, but as of right now, 1605 is basically good resistance. If you break 1605, if we go back to the daily chart, you could see a wick all the way up to 1678. And then I would also, above that, I would be looking for 1783. So next targets to the upside on the smaller time frames would be those. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Is it maybe a possible double top at 1605? That would not be good, but we'll see what happens. If you want to be bullish, you cannot lose. Ethereum cannot lose 1520 to remain bullish short term, is what I would say. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now for Ethereum. Ethereum has to stay above 1520 if you want this upturn to continue, in my humble opinion. So I am going to say that the Bitcoin bottom is in. Like I said, I already went over this. But if Bitcoin breaks 22.2 and gets a daily candle close, especially a weekly candle close above 22,200, then I think the bottom's in. But until then, I'm still leaning towards the fact that we're still bearish. I hope we're still bearish. I would love to buy a $10,000 Bitcoin, but I mean, we'll see what happens, right? It's the new year. Usually in the new year, the trend reverses to the upside or downside. But I did think we're going to have another year of the bear market because we're still ways away from the halving. So as of right now, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. That would change, though, if Bitcoin breaks that key resistance. Anyways, I mean, so anyways, that is kind of where I stand with Bitcoin. And Ethereum. I guess we're on Ethereum right now. So that's kind of where I stand. If you guys have one more request, I'll do one more request, and then I'm going to probably get out. Maybe I'll do two more. I'll do one or two more requests. Just check. Any thoughts on CVX? I will look at CVX. I don't know what that is, but I will definitely look at it. CVX. Okay. CVX on the daily time frame is overbought. Where's the 200-day moving average on CVX, though? It just came out, so it probably doesn't have one yet. The 4-hour chart, though, looks like it might be flagging out. It's well above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart it's made a lower high. It really never got overbought. So I guess I can't say that yet. 4-hour chart still looks bullish to me. As long as you stay above $3.90 on the next correction for CVX, I would say you're still in an uptrend on CVX. But if the next time you get a correction, you lose $3.90, you're not bullish anymore. Let's see if the 3-day chart has a no. Does the 12-hour chart have a 200 moving average? It does. So I mean, that just you can see it. Yeah, it's a pretty new coin. So. But I would say you're overbought. Just be cautious. I don't know anything about this. The chart looks okay to me. It doesn't look super juicy like some coins. So 4-hour chart looks okay. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's enough price history to really say if it's bullish or bearish on the daily chart. So I can't say that, but I can say it looks pretty good still on the 4-hour chart. So I just stay above 390. I would say on the macro long term, you're still good on CVX. So I already did quant. If you guys want to rewatch that, you guys can go on my YouTube channel and just rewind the stream. But I already went over quant. I did not go over H-bar. Appreciate the follow, Kitty, or whatever. H-bar. H-bar. All right, so H-bar on Coinbase. 200-day moving average, it's above it on the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart made a higher high. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart. 1 hour chart needs to get above 0.5 cents to remain bullish. And it's looking like you're really close to being overbought. So it could get pinned and go higher, but 5.5 cents would be what you have to get above on this rally up to remain bullish. Otherwise, it's going to basically put in a slightly lower low. So H bar is short term, has to get above 5.5 cents to remain bullish. If it doesn't do that, I would say that's probably the top at 5.5 cents or 5.4 cents. Yeah, so that's it for H bar. It has to hit 5.5 cents to remain bullish. And it's pretty much that simple. If you break 5.5 cents, I would say the next resistance would be up here at 5.8 cents. So that would be the next resistance. It's 5.8 cents after 5.5 cents. And then obviously you have a macro local low down here at 3.6, 3.7 cents. And you also have a good support at 4.6 cents. So those are the price targets on H bar, super short term. Appreciate the follow. What is Kusama? Seems like a smaller market cap coin, but let me look at it. Kusama on KuCoin. So daily chart, not above the 200-day moving average, so still bearish. The 4-hour chart obviously made a higher low and a higher high. That's good. 1-hour chart is overbought, making a lower high. So the trend, I would say right now on Kusama is over. I think that's the top up there at $34 or whatever the high was, and you're still nowhere near the 200-day moving average. So to me, it's still in a massive downtrend. Until you get about above $41, it still does not look very good on the daily chart. So that is it for Kusama. Very quick analysis on these coins. But if it's not above the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, especially as people think we're in a bull market now, I would say stay away from it if you're trying to trade it. Someone wants to look at Mirror Coin. And then I'm going to get, this is the last one. I'll do one more after this one. I'll say that. Okay. One more after Mirror Coin. Daily chart. So it's had, three days over the last 2 weeks. It's trying to get above the 200-day moving average. Every time it does, it's the lower high. So to me, it's not going to do it. Daily chart's already curving down on the RSI, so not looking too good. 4-hour chart has made a higher low, but let's check the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart made a lower high, so Mirror Coin is still in a massive downtrend, still a no-go for a long-term hold just yet. All right, Link is the last one I am going to do. Chainlink is the last one I'm going to do. We will be back live Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time, not 8 p.m. So daily chart for Link, grand finale. Here we go. Link got rejected off the 200-day moving average. Daily chart's curving down the RSI, so still probably a no-go. 4-hour chart made a higher high. I'm assuming the 1-hour chart's made a lower low. Yes, it has. So some of these altcoins are showing weakness and showing that they need to reverse. Downside target for the next support that I can see is $4.57 for Chainlink. Let me go back to the daily chart and see what the next resistance is. Next resistance is $7.80. Also, I would say it's pretty good resistance at the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. So also $7 is resistance that you can't get above. So $7 and then $7.80 are the next resistance points for Chainlink. All right, so that will wrap it up. Going back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has to get above 22,200 for me to be bullish on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Otherwise, I'm still thinking that we're in a bear market until you break 22.2. So if you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you like and subscribe. We will be back live Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time. If you guys would like to keep up to date with when I go live, make sure to join the Telegram group. It is free. It doesn't hurt to join. And then turn your alerts on so you know when I go live. With that being said, that's all I got. I'm going to get on out of here, go watch some playoff football. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week. And may the best team win tonight in the NFL. So as far as